Your girl's been going through it. I'm one of those people. If you sing it, it's not. How can it be bad if you're singing it? But I wanted to talk about the bite model. And I'm like sitting here like, It gives a lot of people validation, but it's a rubric. And it's like, if you didn't have that from this white man with, credentials in a cult, went to school, made it nice and easy and to understand. And now he's the guy, like, because the bite model, I'm not, because like my awakening to like the cultiness of corporate America came directly from this man, like saying his things, right? Like but it didn't come from the model. It came from him saying, if you have to, and I'm gonna do a segment on it because I can, but it has to be on Patreon because I don't know, because it's based on the Scientology thing. Anyway, he said like, can you go on vacation when you want? Can you, how much sleep are you allowed to get? And like, do you have to ask permission for these things, right? Like, so but it was really just that, right? And he said in this special, like, if you want to get someone out of a cult, because he was disagreeing with them, which I loved. Like, they said, there's no way you can't get them out. If they're in a cult, like, there's nothing you can do or say, right? Like, they have to want to get out. Like, similar to this rock bottom situation. I see hierarchy language right there. Just like in the similar way that AA is apparently a cult or something. That's not my business, but like can be, right? Culty. You can be culted in that system. The bite model, and like, is it according to this guy? And if it's not that guy, then it's this other guy, Thomas Lifton. And if not, then what? Then it's not a cult and you're fine? I don't think so. If we've gotten this far, I think we could address the things. Why? I don't know. And then he's like the guy. And now apparently he's very like anti-trans or something. Shock, guys, white guy? Old white guy? Oh, well, old white guy isn't it gonna be the answer to it? But it feels similar to, I was gonna say white fragility in a way, where it's just so zoomed in. So like the bite model is, but the thing itself, right? See, I didn't need that. I didn't want that. I didn't even record that. It was like him asking the questions, just valid. It did it enough for me. I was like, well, yeah. And then I started looking around at all the stuff I had from the company that just said its name on it everywhere. And I knew that, but I was like, it's fine. Until I couldn't sleep and I had hyperventilating and stuff. Behavior or body, like, control. It's all about control. Really? Is it? Do you feel extremely controlled? Done. Because it's body control. You win. You win the trauma. Yes, that trauma you feel, it's trauma. Done. What do you mean? Let's get out the paperwork. Body or behavior control, information control. How you can't do body and behavior control without information control? Like, they're not independent things, is really what I'm gonna get at with these letters. Thought control, you do that with information control and emotional control, which has to be done with all the other three. Like, it's not to me, those four things don't even, that wouldn't even help me if you said that. Body control, information control, thought control, emotion control. And then you have to go into like, this is what this is, and now let me explain it. Do you know how inaccessible that is? Just humanity wise, like, I need, you know how, especially people who need to understand, like, why. It could be so much simpler than this, y'all. It doesn't have to come from a book from a guy who went to a big school and also had the experience. And also, do you feel traumatized? Do you feel like that really affected you? It doesn't have to be traumatized. Do you feel affected? Okay, then guess what? You were affected. Now what? Like, what about now, though? What do you want now? And I think that's where whiteness and a lot of white people get stuck in the, like, validation part. But is it? Because gaslighting is all you are and have. Because gaslight, purity culture, like gaslighting, gambling. Like, there's a lot of G words I want to put in there, but they're all gentrification, germs, and that's not the same. The alliteration has to be a good. Gangs. That's y'all, but it's your gangs. There you go. Anyway, that's just what I think about. I feel like, but I do have a whole external validation invalidates liberation. That's an acronym that spells out evil. That's just true. But, and not that I know much. I don't know much about that. But if you know, right? Like, you know, it's true. External validation. Anything where it's like, and I'm sorry, because it's gonna invalidate your liberation. If you can purchase your freedom, it can be bought back. That's not, you can't do, that's, what do you mean? Well, you can buy it. You can earn your freedom. You can purchase, you can buy your way out. Of what? Huh? Yeah, it's a cult, it's culty. But I think it's more like narcissism, and I just recorded about it. I haven't posted it. I'm behind posting on my Patreon about the narcissism is like macro dynamics, whereas like the system, narcissism, it's in the title that I made up. And then there's like the cultiness, where the cult is the structure. And like, but like the belief system can change, doesn't matter what it is. Do you believe in this organization's ability to improve the world? Do you believe that if you just insert whatever thing right here, if you just, you will then be better off? Better off? Yeah. What are you talking about? You know what I mean? That's white people stuff. I just think it's like the future faking. Y'all got so much future faking. When have you ever seen them be right? They wrote the history, and even when they wrote it, still not seeing the they did a good thing part of it. The rebranding, you know what I've been calling it? The rewriting of history. Narcissism is, it stuck with me. It's one of those things where like I make up these things because they make things make sense to me. And then I realized, oh, you guys agree? Because I've been gaslit. So like when I bring it to you and then enough people are like, yeah, that helps. Y'all can say whatever you want, but the gaslit has been turned off. Gaslighting has been stopped. No more of it. It's the rewriting of history. You know what I'm saying? Because it's rewriting, and it ends up with just like a lumpy paper. Y'all got lumpy rugs because you sweep everything under the rug, and lumpy paper because you like white everything out. I call it eracism. But you can't erase what you've done, so you just like white it out. You re-white it, and then it's just like lumpy, and you're like, but it's got no mistakes on it. I'm like, yeah, but is it still sticky? Oh no, we got the tape kind now? White out? Maybe stop. Cross it out. Say, oops. No, white people don't make mistakes. Erase little pens. Sorry. Even created erasable pens. You have perfected exactly. And I have some. They're not great. Just write with a pen. You know what I mean? It's the experience matters. I'm just not gonna write. I write more now that I have this. I was like, between rewriting history and self-righteousness, I got y'all. Once it comes to me, I'm like, oh, that's it. And the narcissism makes sense because just personally, I've got experience, but the system itself is set up by people like that so that they can do this. And they are the loudest people. And also Christianity, that one also you know what's interesting? Also something I was gonna maybe verbally discuss. I'm starting to understand why black people don't say white when they're talking about white people, like in mixed company. Like online, you'll see a lot of black people like not say white. And I'm like, I didn't get that lesson, one, because I have a white mom. And I just didn't, I grew up, I never knew you couldn't until I got to like business school. And then everybody was doing this business. And I was like, okay, we do this. And I didn't really get it. But I realized that I avoid saying Christian because I'm Jewish, right? But like, I just understood that like, I don't, like some of y'all come in really weird fonts that I don't get it, right? I didn't understand how culty, because I wasn't around those kinds. Most of the white women I knew were Jewish, but I didn't know that I had a skewed perception of the world, just like everybody does. I thought a lot of Jamaicans were Jehovah's Witnesses because my Jamaican family was Jehovah's Witnesses. It took me a while to realize there were even white Jehovah's Witnesses. You know, we have our own things going on. But yeah, the Christianity fonts, but none of them make sense to me. And once I hear them, I'm like, whoop, but I don't want to spark it, right? And I think that's why black people don't say white, because I didn't realize, I'm not used to it sparking the cult response. But I am understanding that, you know, I realized with Christianity, I really like Christianity as a word, right? But I don't want to offend anybody. And then that makes me think that's why white people don't say black people, because they're like, I don't want to offend you. That's not the same. But you say how it would feel if they talk about me. Like you say black. I wrote it somewhere, but it'll be on a Patreon video. But you say black historically as if like ugly or deformed or disabled. Like you say it like this thing and like those things are bad. So I would hate to be called those things because being different is being wrong. Whoa, that's purity culture. What are you talking about? That's not my lineage of white. That's why I realized my white mom is different than the other white moms. And thank goodness. And I almost did like this. Just because I've seen you guys do it a lot. I don't know, but I know it's serious, so I don't know. Okay, never mind, I'm just kidding. I don't even know what that means. You know what I mean? You just seeped into the culture so much. I say things like, Jesus Christ, and I'm like, oh. But then some people, whatever, okay? I guess that's what it's like being white and being around black culture a lot. You're like, is this bad? I'm appropriating Christian culture. But I don't know. But also, I do want to do a whole thing about like, as a Jewish kid, just growing up around with some of y'all, but also like, mostly non. The things that I thought, I was like, I guess these people are related, and you're like, no, they're not related. And like, so Santa, and then the N, Satan. And I was like, so they're, no, they're both wearing red and they sneak in your house, and like, they're both scary. No, they're not scary, I guess. I'm like, and that's not Jesus' grandpa. No. Because you only get like, it feels like, I don't know, what's the lesson? Buy more things. Shut up about it also. Unless it's about buying more things. I don't know, guys. They come back with gifts. That part sounds nice. We don't have money for that anyway, so it wasn't gonna happen in my house. Thank goodness we don't celebrate Christmas. Because I can't imagine my mom trying to make that happen. We got enough going on. That's how but I was also like, it was so little sitcom America. I was so naive. I was just like, white women are here for this racism. I also was like, my Jewish identity was my white side, right? So I thought that would get me further when I was kind of more indoctrinated, like, oh, because I'm black, but I'm also Jewish. And like, that's great for them. They'll feel more comfortable around me now. Oh, people, that's still a thing. So both, okay, what? The Jewish holidays are more, right, they're more cultural events. You know, like, no matter if I'm practicing or not, like, Judaism has a part of my upbringing because we were doing Jewish stuff. I didn't know, I was just living my life, but there were Jewish things. I went to Hebrew school for a bit. Even when I stopped doing that, I didn't get about mitzvah or anything. But what? I mean, I'm not Christian. I know that much. I even got this thing, like the default Christian thing. And I was just like, oh. And then y'all make us do under God. And I'm like, well. You know what I mean? Yeah. It's like slower, more questions. And so that's where Christianity really came in. I realized is that, like, I was allowed to ask questions, but I learned not to ask questions when it came to Christian stuff, because I like when things make sense. And what? So the book is, so who wrote it? Anyway, I can't. Also, this is part of my healing too. If I'm sharing it with people, it's like sometimes it's just for me to hear me say it, but also it's like I would have loved to have heard this. So hearing that other people get it is nice for me. I still am working through the external validation of it all. Like, I wouldn't make this stuff up if I didn't need it. So I'm never giving advice. I am just sharing with you what I think. You know? But the system weaponizes that against you. And if I now, especially with the algorithm and stuff, like, it just made me feel terrible. And even though a good comment, like on an old video with the thought terminating cliche, white people, man, not be like, oh, I would tell someone they're saying a thought terminating cliche, but that would just confuse them. I don't like the way y'all talk about other people, but people on my page know not to do that. And like, you talk about them, how do you think, I don't know, and at me, like, they wouldn't understand binary thinking. That term, that's too big for them. I don't know. Because if that's true, what do you want me to, I'm giving you tips on how to decult people and you're like, they're stupid. Are they? Like, oh, it's, and those are the kind of comments, right? And like, those people think they're supporting me. They think we're on the same side or whatever. I don't even, what? I'm agreeing with you. But those people don't. They don't. Oh, sound like you're talking about black people, right? You're not, but you're using the same language. So I feel like I already know how this goes. You do nothing and you feel good about yourself. And now you just made me feel like, oh, you're just saying they all can't read? Oh, cool. Are you going to help them read? Are you going to teach them? Are you, you win. You win now. You're good. Never mind. Give up. Don't try. It's the why are you telling me? Who are you talking to? You know? And that's why I shouldn't be on TikTok also. But I do like when people listen to me. And it feels like I can get that on lives. For the most part. I know there are people listening. Even if they're not commenting, because it's a tough battle, right? Because you want to be like, I want to show her that I agree, but also she keeps telling us to be quiet all the time. And like, but agree is not the point. It's like, resonate, yes. You're like, thank you. Black people know how to do this thing where we communicate without determining if we agree or not. That's weird people. White people. Anyway, we just go, yep, that part. Right, we just feel like, thank you, that's great. You know, I'm gonna be like, I don't know. Everything you said was great, except, did you know that this other thing? All right. Are you gone? You have to engage with. I understand. Listen, I'm having the same struggle because I'm like, what do they have to say? What do I hope they say? Like, that's on me, right? I gotta work on that. That's why TikTok is a problem. Because I'm like, what do they think? It's not supposed to be about what they think. Girl, that's not why you're making it. Right back here, I have my favorites right now. Not my favorites right now, but my favorites for recommendations. I also am adding It's Not You to it because narcissism. If you relate to that word at all, It's Not You is a great book. But white people, I would add It's Not Just You. Okay? That's a whole other thing. Cast. All About Love and How We Can Win. What's on top? Oh, Just Mercy by Brian Stevenson. I advise you also make sure you have some people you admire and advocate, or like activist leaders, people who are alive. Most of those people are alive. Bell Hooks is the only person not alive who wrote those books. Because it seems like white culture only likes dead activists. Right? Healing is like itchy and it hurts sometimes. You know, if it's comfortable, bed sores are coming. I don't know, something like that. It's not always the actual trauma of it that you need to discuss. It's the itchy afterwards and the resisting the scratching it, even though you know how good it would feel to scratch it. Don't do that. And sometimes we mess up and we do it anyway. What are we gonna do after that? Stop. Quit while you're ahead. Don't be like, well, I already did it. Let me just go all in. No, stop right now. Go get some ice or something. I love the term positive disintegration. Like as we deconstruct things, it's hard to know, and to grieve is a part of the journey. Grief isn't always just a negative. Whiteness has this all or nothing with this negative and positive. Black funerals are sometimes a place where lots of laughter happens, and sadness and crying, but lots of joy. And the repast and food, and you go for other stuff, right? Like, life is not all fun and games. Hold on, I don't like that phrase, not all fun and games, because also, not all games are fun. Don't let white people tell you that just because it's a game or a joke, now fun is being had. No. Also, another one I wanted to verbally process, well, I still got like 20% better. Monopoly. Okay. Now we live in the Monopoly game where money isn't even physical. Imagine playing Monopoly, all right, or like a Monopoly champion. Your family loves Monopoly, but there's no physical money. It's all on a computer, and the banker's got the computer. He doesn't even. You don't even. You don't hold the little colors of money. You don't. You don't have any physical money. Is that game as fun? I feel, and I'm not even. I don't even know what the answer is to that. I feel like I don't know. And that's why these then billionaires are like, okay, we don't even like you're not even counting all your money. So what are you doing? You're like, all right, let's find a way to torture everybody else here. That's more fun. Because what else are you doing? You're playing this game where now it's like, okay, now you owe me this much. I don't know. Digital monopoly. I figured there probably is digital monopoly, right? Hold on, let's see. And it almost caused a fight. I just like the figures. And the figures are weird. I had a whole thing about the figures on a live once. Like, the figures have zero consistency. Like, they're just things. It has credit card readers. We had to walk away, declared bankruptcy to buck the system. See, right? Best case scenario Monopoly, right? This is what, I don't want to say words that make FYP happy. What the good guys, the nice side, the blue side, whatever, is like, we should be, okay, let's play Monopoly in a way where no one ever loses. I don't want to play. I don't want to play. We're like, well, let's make it even. Reform is like, let's make it so that you can't. Whatever. I don't want to reform the rules of the game where the only way to win is to make sure everyone else loses. You can't be nice. You can't go, okay, I won't charge you for this. Yeah, why a shoe? Like a car and a shoe and a thimble, almost the size of a thimble. Yeah, I like Sorry better, I think. I can't really remember Sorry so much, but Trouble. Play Trouble. Way more fun. No money needed. Getting into trouble is more fun than winning at Monopoly. So, what does that mean? Board games. And then they said, it's fun, it's a game. Game the system. Gamifying everything. Stop. Terrible games. You guys make bad games. Double Dutch is more fun. It's not even a game, it's just an activity. I'd rather do that. I'd rather getting into trouble. That's a game. That's actually a fun game. Just because it's in the game section. The get out of jail free card, like that game, okay? It was created, it's the ultimate America. It was created to be like, hey guys, see how this game sucks? And that's what we're doing for our whole lives. It's like an art installation. And America was like, and we love it. It's fun, a game, make it in 1,000 fonts, and go. Play it at home. But when you're in a cult, you're like, it's family night, we gotta play. Like, it's better than going to church. I'd rather stay inside and play Monopoly. But what if you didn't have to do either of those things? What if fun was actually fun? Played Monopoly. I wasn't a Monopoly family, but I played it once and I thought I just didn't get it. But also, like, because it's not fun. I didn't know that you should, blah, blah. It's like manipulating credit scores and shit. Like, oh. A guy whose hobby is, like, trading stocks. He's not doing nothing. You didn't bond. I can tell you that you didn't bond over Monopoly. No. Oh, it says it ends with flipping tables. Exactly. And that doesn't sound like fun. But also, America's the place where gambling is fun. For who? That's just drugs. And like brain drugs, but so scrolling. Like a scrolling phone? No. Do we do it? Yes. I like Connect 4. I like it a lot. But I don't like losing. I like things where you don't lose. You know, that's why I like dance class. But then I didn't realize white people turn dance class into winning and losing in competitions and stuff. I didn't do all that, but I just like dance. You just go, have some fun. It doesn't have to be, we don't have to be prepared for competition. We can compare without competing. That's the next thing I'm gonna do. And like, but being compassionate to my past self is where my next step has been as well. So I give that to you in case you need it. Because like I said, like, don't be morally superior to other people, just be morally superior to your past self. But even then, you don't want to be like past self, you know, and you know, we don't want to be like, that was so stupid. It wasn't stupid, you just had less information. I don't want to do it. I remember telling on a live, being like, no, the thing about hair care is like, you have to care for your hair, you know, you have to like care about it. And I meant that wholeheartedly, and I heard myself, I was like, ooh. You said nothing. But like, but I meant it, so I don't know, guys. Terrible advice. Patience, but also start from the bottom up, not top down. I use it as an analogy too. I also don't know how to just answer questions. But you know, you gotta start from, you're in a rush, you try to rush things. Sense of urgency, tenet of white supremacy, is like trying to put a brush at the top of your head and work it down. Not if you got, wait, what are you doing? You shouldn't even do that if you have straight hair. And that's the thing about intersectionality, you see, is that you could go, with your straight white people hair, you could go into any black salon and get your hair slayed. Whatever the thing is. Just a cut? Okay. You'll get it done. It does not work the other way around. And that's how reverse racism doesn't work. Because that's enough. I can't just go into any salon and be like, can you give me a haircut? I could. And the white confidence, that mediocre white woman confidence would be like, come on in. And then when it doesn't work out, it's my fault. Because I should have known better. And my coarse, terrible hair that they didn't learn about doesn't actually exist because they didn't learn about it. So, and they know how to do hair and they got the license, and now, so it's me. Right. And that's the impacts of anti-blackness, is that white curly-haired people will also have a hard time and a terrible time. That's just a game changer. Yeah. I mean, and don't go too hard on the rubric for curl types, because I've got multiple curl types on my head, right? Just like with the bite model, how I started this, where I feel like now it's being used as like this tool for validation or not, and like, no, right? Curl types and what kind of curl pattern, what is my curl? Listen, I don't get into all that, but I am not a curly hair expert. I'm just a my hair expert. Like a my life expert. Like I said, I don't give advice. I just tell you what I'm thinking. Right? So what I know is you shouldn't do your hair hating it, one. So you shouldn't do it rushing, shouldn't do it angry. I know that patience is key. More water. More water. If it's frizzy, it needs more product. If it's dry, water too. Water-based product. You know, stuff like that. I'm not gonna be like, buy this product and this brush and do it in this exact way. That's white people stuff. There's what you need to know. A list, a rubric. Don't get these products. If you do this, your hair will explode. No, just get like comfortable with the thing and like figure it out. You know, think about like products kind of as like lotion on your skin, and then I know white people, you don't do the lotion on your skin. So I don't know what to tell you. Put lotion in your hair and it should like get into it, and that does stuff and caring about it, and I don't know, but I'm not a hair expert. Like this makeshift. Poofy. Ugh. Not a white people should not say poofy. I'm trying to think of any other reason they would say it, and there wouldn't be one, right? So stop. That's a bad word. That's a slur. So it might as well be. Honestly, the way you think we feel about certain words, it's like, yeah, the second you say poofy, he meant it as a compliment, and we had to talk. Yeah, and you know how sometimes compliments don't hit? Right? Remember how when we talk about white women and their compliments, and I'm like, see how when men compliment you, you're like, well, now I gotta deal with this. Everything was fine, and now he complimented me, and now we have to have a whole talk. You know what I mean? Like, I don't care what you meant. Now this is what we're dealing with. If a man said this to me, would I like it? Exactly. And what if a man said this? That's really what I want y'all to have right here. And what if a man said this? Okay? If he said, oh my God, I'm so sorry, men are so terrible to you. Okay. You know, it would just, your friends, you know what I mean? Let's take it out of concept and let's bring it to reality. So now what, you know? And I believed the other thing is the apology, right? Apologies are different than amends, or different than acknowledgements, different than acceptance. All different things. The narcissist does this, right? They pop in and be like, oh, that accomplishment, question mark? But what if? What if what? What if? Oh my God, you're right. You're right. As long as I am talking about what I am thinking and what I'm going through, I'm not talking about being reactive to like systems and people who are a part, the triangulation part of it, and being zoomed in. Because I think that's really what whiteness is being so zoomed in, you go way past the point. Like your pendulum is swinging and it's like, whoa, pendulum. Where'd that come from? Stop it. And y'all are like, no, you gotta go when the pendulum took. No, wait, stop. What's on the other side? Why are we going? Hold on, guys. This is a terrible adventure. It's like Monopoly, but with your, I don't know. I know, and then people are broke, and like that's the thing is I know, but then if I say I'm broke, right, because y'all are broke, y'all be like, but I'm broke, and I'm like, you don't even know, right, which is fine for you to not know, but white people are the only ones allowed to say they're broke out loud. I don't think you guys realize like you're broke and black women broke is not the same, especially even hearing about it. Black people, you don't understand. Black culture and capitalism are different. We have a different relationship to it than white people do. I gotta tell you. Yeah. Capitalizing on yourself is just bad. It's bad all around. But the only people allowed to complain about it don't look like me. They look like you. If you look at my comments, if I try to ask for people to support me on Patreon, most of it is going to be white women like, I wish I could. Black women, one, have already done it when they shouldn't have to, and I know they have less than you and they support me. And I don't want that, but that's what's happening. And if I tell you it's because you're white and your threshold for tolerance and distress is so much higher, then you're going to tell me more about how you don't got no money, and I'm going to be looking at you like, do you know the generational trauma I am suppressing? Yeah. This is a really tough battle for me. And also my personal trauma. My father is an immigrant. We don't ask for, you know what asking for help? My dad is from the silent generation. The one in the relationship who had money was the black dad. Okay, from a cult. Not in it anymore, but yeah. What I want is white women to realize. I don't know. It's really hard talking about money. Y'all are the first ones to be like, y'all don't talk about money. Black people talk about money. We do. Because you can afford not to. It's like not making something about race. If you can afford to not make something about that thing, now you just said it, right? You know, your boogers are showing. And it's not the you having the ability or not, it's the you telling me about it. That it almost signifies a different thing, because black women don't do that. They either support or they don't. I wish they could, or feel like that's not my job. And it's not their job. It's y'all's job. But like, y'all are the least likely to do it. It's so frustrating. And that's what's, it's like hard for me to see in my notes, but it's a pattern I have of thinking white women will do something that they're not gonna do. That they were like, well, I don't have to. You know, they're learning. I'm listening right here. Look at me. I'm doing an amazing job. I'm like, you know, I'm on your side. I want to. And then they get, you know, there's some studies about that. Like a lot of times you give yourself credit for things when you just announce that you're gonna do it or something like that. I don't know what that study was on or who that study was on, so I don't know. But they do say like people will feel a relief or satisfaction as if they did something if they just announce that they're gonna. And people, if people I think then congratulate them on it. Or like, I'm gonna run a marathon. They're like, they get some of the satisfaction as if they've already done it. Yeah, the men of women. Are the men investing in their deconstruction? Are the men, what do you want? What would you wish a man would do if you, whatever. Yeah. And also, they think versus, so when I said man versus bear, and then I said white women versus white man, they heard that as a versus. So they were like, our conversation, a women's conversation, when they said that they meant white, they didn't realize they meant white because I'm a woman. So I would be included in that conversation. We are talking about this, and you're talking about race. You're making a conversation that was about the worst possible things I can think of that happened to women. And now you're making it about what could happen to you. I'm a woman. What do you... And now you have shown yourself to be the betrayer of women, but you're gonna tell me that I'm breaking up sisterhood. Ew. Right. And then they'll be like, oh, I'm trying to relate to this. Well, now it's weird because I thought we already did relate because we're humans. And women. But now you're making it weird because you think I'm not one. You don't think those things that you're talking about have happened to me. You think, no way, because you would not say this. Or maybe the worst things that you can think of happening to you have already happened to other people, and things could be worse. And they know about things worse that have even happened than things that have happened to them. They see outside of themselves. Right? That's when men said, but a bear will maul you, and you said, I'll take it. They couldn't understand it. That's the worst thing ever. And you said, no. So when I said, being alone with a man in a room, I'd rather that than being alone in a room with you, random stranger I don't know. And now you're yelling at me about it. But I'm talking on the internet, I'm talking to people who already believe I have something valid to say. about some people who maybe don't. And that's what's like, I'm white woman whisper for, I'm talking for and with black women, and then telling y'all what the experience of you seems to be. And then you're like, no, that's actually wrong for me. I don't agree with that. Mm-mm. Okay. Well, actually. So people can tell you it's not your experience because gaslighting, narcissism, dehumanization, you know, drapetomania. They made a whole science out of saying they don't know what they're talking about. They run away because they're sick in the head. Only a person sick in the head would want to run away from living here with me and doing my work under my rules. You know, it comes from a place that just doesn't make any sense. Yeah, narcissism loves a good victim blame. It loves to tell you how to deal with stuff. Roll with the punches. What? There's someone punching me and you're telling me roll with it? What about stop punching? Another thing about the games aren't always fun, and your jokes aren't funny. Your punchlines. What? Punch? What's with the violence? The punchlines, and we're punching down, and we're punching up, and punching. Yes, lots and lots of stuff over there. But please pay. But you don't have to in order to see a bunch of stuff. But who else is gonna do it? You want me to start putting ads out? You want me to make TikTok shop stuff? Do you want to see that from me? No. How? Please pay. Please. I made so many tears. But it's on me. I'm gonna try, I'm working on my end. I'm slowing down. I'm investing in what I appreciates. You're white women, it's on me to know. It's kind of like when I left corporate America and this older black woman was like, well, when you went natural, you kind of knew what they were gonna do. And I didn't. But she's not a monster for saying that to me, because I had a white mom, and if I had a black mom, my black mom would have said, yeah, if you go natural, blah, 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 blah. That doesn't make it okay, right? It doesn't make it okay that white women don't actively seek to support me when they learn from me and they find ways not to. Doesn't make it okay, but we're in the narcissist system, and white women are just trying to survive just like everybody else, and they're fearful and they're scared, and it's like a luxury, and they're just focused on their short-term thing. They're not like bad, I'm just recovering from another level of narcissistic, a little betrayal or whatever. But it's good. It's good. But I do think, this is the stress I chose. At least I chose this one. The stress of working for a white man was, I guess I chose that too, but it didn't necessarily feel like it. And thank you. I try to make it worth it. When I first started, I thought, I don't have to make it worth it for you guys. I'm on TikTok every day doing this, right? For free. You guys should be supporting me just so that you can make sure you still have it. Maybe, but that's not what's gonna happen. Maybe, but okay. And 4 years later, I'm like, all right, bitch. It took time, but also it does a lot of its own work, though. I don't want just anybody who feels like they are entitled to, because they support. It's like, yeah. I really like it. I had to do the deconstruction of it. No power mode, I'm gonna have to go. But yeah, I appreciate y'all. And I don't want to always be complaining about capitalism to people who already support me, so I'm not. It's just capitalism always provides you a way to, an avenue to confirm anxiety. No matter how much. You see these billionaires with bunkers and things like that. So no matter how much you actually have, even I'm starting to realize I don't think I believe in financial freedom anyway, but like you're always, it's on you to realize how much it actually does or doesn't. But if you're feeling safe in every aspect, you can always go, yeah, but it would be better if you were actually safer, like in the future too. Oh, future me's in danger. Great. And you can always, so I'm working on it. Afraid of storms so loud. Glad you answered this was important for me here. Good. Okay. Thank you for saying that. And that's true, because like a lot of this stuff and a lot of privilege and understanding it only comes when you have the conversations, right? And that's why they don't want you to talk about money and things like that. And I don't want people to feel bad ever. And that's never my goal. Feel bad or do something because they feel bad in that, especially in that Black trauma way. Like you're doing me a favor, or like a charity, or donating. And maybe that has a lot to do with my own stuff. I know. The itchy healing process, like you said. True, I like that. Absolutely. That's true. And that is what I've always wanted to provide. So, I don't want to be itchy for you, but I'm feeling it. So I'm like, hey guys, is it itchy in here or what? And it is. It is. And they're making it itchy. All the pollen and poison and patriarchy. Itchy. They don't wash. Yeah. I got my own healing to do. I don't want to make people feel bad. It's like, I don't want to call your thing a cult. But like, that shouldn't make you feel bad. I'm being mad at the thing, not at you. You know? I want to be the healing itchy, not the like haven't washed itchy. So I think, and understanding those are different is good. And I don't feel like white people get that lesson. They're just like, itchy, what are you talking about? What do you mean? Put some dirt on it. What? It's always back to the washing yourself. I can't stop. I can't stop washing. I didn't know how cultural the lack of washing was until I heard it, and I was like, and just the purity culture at the same time. Both. And to just be like, I'm just so much better than you while you smell, you stinky, and be. Not wash it. Like, the nerve. And I said this before, but also like how we feel for our ancestors. Like, they made it through so much. And these motherfuckers didn't wash. Like, at that time, they smelled bad. Even in all this imagery we want to see, and they smelled bad. And just on top, like, okay, yes. And I got sensory issues with stuff and smells. And it really would bother. I can't even, don't even use the thing called, right. And y'all be like, hey, guess how many forks we need? More. You know why? Because we're white and we need more forks. And guess who's gonna wash them? I don't know. We're more civilized than them. We don't wash our hands. That's why we don't eat with our hands. You what? Well, we don't eat with our hands because our hands, why would you eat with your hands? Your hands got like poop on them and stuff. You got what? She forks, but how to wash them. This one. Fork, and over in England, before any European comes in here to be like, oh, this is an American thing. Y'all don't even rinse off your shit. Okay? I I get really worked up about this washing. British people. Well, I learned that recently. Yeah. Did you guys know that? British people, they put soap, right? They're like, from one washing bowl, a washing bowl of water, they dip everything in the one washing bowl. Soap. And just put it up to dry. And then take the next dirty ass thing, dip it in that same washing bowl. I'm yelling, sorry. Up to dry. Next. And those people are like, ugh, uncultured. You know what? You're not well traveled to your places? Eating soapy everything. They'll wash their mouths out with soap. They'll leave soap on all the things, but won't put soap to legs. Old Fairy dish soap advert. Soap everywhere but where it needs to be. And so if we can't get that right, why are we asking them for global policies? Or whatever the fuck y'all are asking them for. They don't wash. And the men with the poop and the stuff. Okay, but I'm not gonna let white women off the hook on that one, because I realized it's your faults. You and your men. Right? Those men don't know how to wash because their moms didn't wash. Because you guys aren't washing. Sorry. Because whose fault is it? It's their mom's fault. Because their mom was like, oh, the father doesn't. And because the father. Who? When? And listen, I'm not saying. I'm just. Make it stop. Right? Once I realized that, because the whole thing about moms, it's like I couldn't unsee it. Moms, that's their whole thing is I quick shower when I can and the baby's sleeping. So whenever you are showering, the kid's unconscious. And you're like, don't need to because I'm perfect. I'm clean all the time. That's not white people shit. Just naturally clean. There's no, this is something we all need to do. Watch. Not in a, you know what it, man, you get it. Like, when does it happen? If I can't see it, it's not dirty. Literally, what you see is all there is. Well, those white guys, I read the book, that's all the white people deal with. White men. What do you mean? I don't see it that way, but it goes down to your mental process when you talk to us. Because I'll be like, hey, this is a race thing. And they're like, I don't see it that way. Oh. Guess I was wrong. There isn't shit in this bed. They're like, I don't see it. My kid's not dirty unless I can see and smell the dirt. This bread isn't moldy because I just took that piece of mold off. Wrong, actually. Turns out. And I talk to white women, right? And if I wouldn't know this about men, about white men and their poopy pants. I wouldn't know it without white women coming on to be like, oh, guys, can you believe it? And then I'm like, okay, why is there more than one of you with this story? Why are so many of you saying the same thing about the poopy pants? And why aren't you asking that question? Because if that were, I'm too far removed from that to deal with that. But I'm gonna talk to you and hold your hand. Nope, not gonna, because I know. Nope, now I know. I'm gonna look at you while I say this. This is your fault. Sorry. Okay, all right. it? This is literally your fault, and you got to do something about it because I'm scared for you, girl. And that's how my movie Waker of Sleeping Beauty is gonna go. If Daenerys can be Mother of Dragons, I'm gonna be Waker of Whites. I'm waking you up, and I'm waking you up like this. Wake up! He's got everywhere. My people have been trying to tell you for 400 years. I'm gonna keep trying. Wake up! He's coming. He's coming, and he's gonna kiss you, and you're unconscious. You're in danger. You in danger, girl. I just want you to not get brainwashed and instead to get leg washed. And by yourself. Stop the brainwashing. Start the leg washing. And this is why Fran lets me be on here if I'm talking with my friends, right? I know I can go here with this. I could never do this and post this on a TikTok, really, because watching comments would be devastating. Yes, I know y'all get it. If you're here at this point, you get it. Get into it with soap. Yes, get the long loofah. We will work with it. Take your time. But if every day you're like, well, I have a countdown of 3 minutes till I have to leave the house. That's why, like, the system set it up so that your shower is some weird luxury and only done when other people are unconscious, and that's freaking weird. And also your naked body. There's a lot going on there. I do say you can use me as like a litmus test. Use my name and just see what people say, because that seems to really, they used to do it. Remember how much people used to ask me what my name meant? And just be like, hey, you heard of this white woman whisperer? And see what happens. Does their head explode? Are they confused? Are they mad? Do they care what race I am? Are they, what goes on? What happens next? And then just, that's it. That's your good deed for the day. And you just made it about race for someone. But just, that's my advocacy. And then be like, to learn from she blocks you. Oh. I used to think, oh, you know, this would be great. I'll tell black people, like, hey, send this to your coworker. Like, you can send my page. Back when I thought I was going to be really, like, nice and brand friendly or something. Send your coworker to my page or whatever, who keeps doing that thing. So this way it's just like, I just thought you would really, whatever. I don't think that would have worked out. But I did use this was gonna be pitched at black people. Like, I got this special power. Send me your little workplace friend who almost gets it. And I didn't even think about that part of it. People would be like offended. What do you mean? Why are you offended? And so that's why I'm just realizing, like, let's just talk to people who are down already. And like, we're gonna have a good time. We're gonna be in the party room. We're gonna be like, are you on Patreon? Like, it's so cool. We're not gonna shame people into joining. That's what I don't want. That's why I don't like the idea of complaining about capitalism and the lack of white women support that I get, because I don't want them to join out of like this. And then, whoa, it's weird in here, right? Because I want it fun. But I want a lot of things, like freedom. Whatever. And for white people to want. So after, yeah, you know, like, let's do something that actually does something. I feel like I will. I'll be making stuff and having conversations over there. Like, I do want to get more community, like, lives going, or like scheduled ones. I just have to figure that out. I have to get there. I'm just not there yet, because I'm only on a random whatever basis. But if I get a scheduled one going, that would be cute. And so hopefully that will just draw people to want to also do it for their own, right? Because I'd rather have a haha fun time than a learning stern lecture time, because I don't want you to feel like it's school. It should feel like it's my house. Like Bible study, but if the Bible was something good. I don't know. I never had Bible study, so don't listen to me if that was a bad one.